to you. It's just a good day and a good life, 'cause of a good guy who's good all the time.
Hello everyone, I'm Sama, and today I'm going to teach you how to use CapCut to make a cinematic edit. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I do want to start off with a couple of tips before we get started, so let's get right to it. Tip number 1 is to have a script. One common mistake that I see some Zepeto editors make is not having a script. So whether you're doing a one-shot or filming a full series, I do believe that having a script is an absolute must. This is because you'll know exactly what your characters are supposed to say, what they're supposed to do, and where your story is going. And this really pays off in just selecting actions and poses for the final edit, and it just makes the overall filming and editing process go a lot smoother. So tip number 2 is storyboarding. Now storyboarding is completely optional. I usually don't storyboard entire episodes, usually the first 1 to 2 scenes, but the benefits of storyboarding are that you're able to visualize a scene before you even film it. You're also able to see where characters are supposed to be placed, and it's also great practice for scene framing, which is basically how your entire scene is laid out. How I normally storyboard is I usually just use the Zepeto camera and place all of my characters that I need in that scene. I'll take a picture and then upload that into the Canva storyboards, or I'll just do a quick sketch. If you want to see more of my storyboards, stills, as well as behind the scene content, please check out my Ko-fi or buy me a coffee. Links are in the description below. With that being said, let's get started with the tutorial. So the first thing we want to do is open the Zepeto app, click the create button, and then select the camera at the top of the page. You can select either the default camera or the action camera. Today we're actually going to be using the action camera. The default camera allows you to record poses, dances of you and other people, whereas the action camera will allow you to control your character's facial expressions and even record dialogue. So from here, select action camera and then be sure to change the background to the bright green color that you see on the screen. And then from there, select a pose that fits your scene and then make any adjustments to the character either by rotating or moving them around. And then just try to have stable facial expressions and head movements to minimize twitches and jerky movements when you record. It's always a good idea to practice your dialogue and expressions before you start recording. Once you're done, save it and open in CapCut. Start a new project with the background for your scene, and then from there you'll want to adjust the length of the background. Mine are usually about 10 to 15 seconds, but it really depends on how much video you recorded in Zepeto. You also might want to adjust the size of your background so it looks more natural behind your character. To make the background layer look more natural, we'll select adjust and adjust the color. So I'm going to actually select contrast and increase that, and then I'm going to decrease the brightness. Just play around with the settings until you achieve the desired look for your scene. To add your character, select the overlay option and then select your Zepeto character and import it into CapCut. Select the character layer and then select the remove BG option, and then from there select chroma key. Increase the intensity until the green disappears, and then you can also increase shadow just a little bit. Then select the adjust option, and we're going to do the same thing we did for the background. We're going to play around with the brightness and the contrast, and we want to make sure that our character matches the background so the scene looks completely natural. To create a cinematic look, we're going to select the background layer and we're going to select effects and then video effects. Then we'll go to lens and then spot blur. And we'll hit the adjustments on the spot blur. And I'm just going to play around with the intensity, but you can play around with any of these settings until you achieve the desired look for your scene. The last thing you want to do is just make sure that your overlay layer is the same length as your background layer. One problem that I ran into when I first started making videos was having the overlay layer way too short, and as a result my character would disappear before the end of the scene. So make sure that everything is the same length and be sure to save every scene as its own individual file. That final file should be uploaded into a final project file, and that final project file shouldn't have any character overlays to avoid the problem of your character disappearing. If you like this video, please be sure to look out for the next one, which will teach you how to add a second character, as well as how to add camera shake for a more cinematic edit. If you like this video and you'd like to see more like it, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of all new videos as well. And I do think that you will like this video over here. But I do thank you for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day.